Okay, guys, Hip Hop Culture here. It's been a while since I've made a video, right? Yeah, let's get straight into it. What I want to talk about today, guys, is a few things. Daily improvement. I've got some notes written here, so please don't mind me if I'm looking down. I want to talk about daily improvement towards your goal. There being no need for milestones. Aspire to find the truth about yourself and about the thing that you're busy trying to improve in, and finally to aspire to be less wrong. All right. Yeah. So let's start with the first one, right? Every day constantly improve toward your goal. So what does this mean? I want us to picture a car, right? Let's picture a car. Visualize a car driving from point A to B. There's 300 kilometers in between these two distances. With every single kilometer that car travels, it improves. It improves from its previous position in relation to its previous position. It improves by a kilometer. So if the car is at 0 right now, it's at position A and it's trying to get to position B, which is 300 k's away. Once it's driven 10 kilometers, that car has improved by 10 kilometers in relation to the goal. You understand? And it only has 290 kilometers left to travel. So the only way we can know that this is even happening is if ever we are tracking and measuring that improvement. So when it comes to a car, we'll use GPS, for example, because the GPS will tell us. It'll sort of have like a countdown thing, whereby it actually tells us how many kilometers we've traveled in relation to the goal that we're trying to get to, or in relation to the kilometers that are left to travel, if that makes sense. So we use a GPS, or we use the road signs, because road signs will tell you that it'll say that there's 40 k's left from where you are to the next town. After 10 k's, it'll say there's 30 k's left. So that is a form of measuring and tracking. Actually, it's not just a form, it is measuring and tracking. That was the only way to measure and track before GPS existed, you see. So why is this important? I realized that the final result is nice. It's nice to get to the final result. But what gives more satisfaction is seeing improvement toward the final result. And the only way you can see that you are getting closer to the final result is because you are measuring and tracking, right? And that is the challenging thing, to consistently measure and track, especially when it comes to things like your goals. Because when it comes to a trip from point A to B, 300 k's, you just have to do this for 4 hours or 3 hours or 3.5 hours, right? But when we're talking about a goal that is potentially 3 years away, reaching it is potentially 3 years away. That means you actually have to measure and track for 3 years. It's not many that will be able to do that, but that is what's necessary to keep you energized and motivated in the journey, because it's seeing the improvement that keeps you motivated and energized in the journey. But the only way to see the improvement is because you're measuring and tracking. That is how you know that you are measuring and tracking. You see, that is how you know that you are improving. Otherwise, there's no way to tell. You're just winging it. If you aren't measuring and tracking. At the gym right now, I'm measuring and tracking everything. All right. For example, if I do 80 kgs chest this week, and I'm making an example, 8 reps, right? My goal the next time I do chest is to beat that, right? So I can beat it in either two ways. I can either increase the weight a bit, right, and do the same amount of reps, or I can keep the same weight but do more reps, or I can do a combination of both, right? Either way. So that is something to always remember, guys. You must improve, but the only way to improve is to measure and track everything you're doing. That's the first thing. So I say the second thing is there's no need for milestones, right? What do I mean by this? When milestones, the only reason you need milestones, or the reason why people talk about the importance of milestones, is because they keep you motivated in the journey, right? Hitting a milestone. Oh, okay. That's how you see. It's one way of measuring and tracking, if that makes sense. It's one way you see how far you've come in relation to where you were. You see? So they want you to celebrate all of that, right? But with the model I'm suggesting, which is measuring and tracking everything you're doing, right? If I go back to the car example, every single kilometer traveled is like a milestone reached. So you're always celebrating and you're always happy because you're seeing your improvement consistently. You're not waiting for a milestone that might be 2 days or a week away or even a month away. With every action, right? With every daily action, you see the improvement. Especially if you set up proper measuring processes and systems that can capture your progress with daily action, then you see the improvement daily, and that is a win every day. So you're always hyped up because you see yourself improving and getting closer to the goal. And there's no the other thing I forgot to say with this system of measuring is there's then no need to stop, right? There's no need to stop. You've never attempted traveling 300 kilometers with a car, saw that you've traveled 150 k's, and then suddenly decided to be like, nah, I don't think I'll get to the end goal. That doesn't make sense. You can see that you've traveled 150 k's. You can see you've got another 150 k's left. So your brain just says to you, if I could do half this journey, why wouldn't I be able to complete the whole journey? You see, your brain then starts working with you. At that point, your brain becomes your partner. It's not creating resistance. It's working with you to achieve your goals at that point. And that's what you want, right? Because all of this just becomes easier at that point. So I handle the milestones thing. There's no need for milestones. The way milestones are normally described, right? There's no need for that. Every single day is a milestone reached, and every single day you'll be hyped up if you're tracking and measuring properly. Then thirdly, aspire to find the truth about yourself and about the thing that you're doing. So guys, this is what you always need to remember, right? There's information, knowledge, and then there's wisdom. You need to find the truth about the particular thing you're doing. What I mean by that is, you need to find out if there's a particular business model, for example, that you want to try out. You what needs to be top of mind for you is finding out how that business model is done. Like what do you need to do for it to work, right? Now, because of how we've been trained as students and so on, we think we need to go to a book to find that information, right? It may be, you may find information in a book, you may ask a mentor and all of that. But there's the truth. The truth is in you taking what the book said and what the mentor said and what your intuition is telling you. By the way, your intuition beats what the mentor and even the book say, because your intuition is your higher self, which knows the whole path already. So that's a topic for another video. But just for now, remember that your intuition is actually the best guide for achieving any goal, right? So you need a combination of these things, and then what you're doing is you're basically applying you are applying the scientific method, right? For us, I'm an electrical engineer, right? So there's something we learned called the scientific method. You're basically testing. You test, you get feedback, data again, right? And then you analyze the data. You see what worked, you see what didn't work. You cancel what didn't work, right? You keep what works. You add a new component. You must add something new to replace what didn't work. So this is a hypothesis. You think of something, right? Something new that could fill in the gap of what you removed. And you add that to what worked, and then you retest again. And then you get new information, right? And from that, you see again what worked, right? And then what you'll realize is slowly after time, you then end up, it's almost like you end up sucking the truth out of uncertainty, out of, you get the truth, you end up getting the truth out of uncertainty. Maybe that's the best way to put it, right? Through this process of applying, testing, seeing the data, keeping what worked, because what worked is now the truth, right? But there's something that didn't work, you get rid of that, and then you must get new information to always test, right? Because in that new information there could be truth there, but we don't know how much of the information is truth, so we must test it to suck the truth out, so that we can get rid of what doesn't work, you see, so that we can, with every time we do that process, we bank truth, right? We get information and we bank truth, and then we now have the truth, and when we apply this truth, we get the results that we want, you see. So that's how you get the truth out of any situation. It must be a process of testing and and finding out what the truth is, right? You can't you can't outsmart the universe. Don't think that you can think of what the truth is. You must find the truth. All you can do is come up with theories that need to be tested, right? Which is good enough. Test them and you'll get the truth, and you'll get what is not the truth as well, right? So it's that. I said about the truth about the particular thing you're interested in, and then the truth about yourself. So this process also helps you uncover your limits, the truth about you, where your comfort zone ends, right? And all of those things. So once you know what the truth is about yourself, you then know what you need to work on, what you need to improve again. And as I said, improvement has to do with tracking. Remember this, never forget this. What gets measured gets improved. You see. So once you know where your limits and where you're comfortable and all of that, or where your discomfort starts, that's where we start improving. And for that to happen, we need to start tracking the shit. You see. So this process as well helps you uncover the truth about you, right? Because we think we know ourselves, but we don't. When the pressure comes, that's the truth. That's when the truth about you comes out. When the pressure comes. So only once you apply pressure onto yourself will you know your real self. And that's why it's fine to know your real self, because you then can improve from that real self. Always remember that. That's how it is. And then finally, guys, I learned this from Elon Musk, right? And other guys, but I think I came across it from Elon Musk first. Aspire to be less wrong. This is also tied to this truth thing. I call it truth, right? Yes, it is truth. But as weird as this will sound, the truth over time also changes. Think about it this way. In 1968, there was a truth about how to build a car, right? They built cars, car companies built cars, they became successful building cars, and. But in the year 2000, the way a car was built in 2000 versus in the 1960s was different. So the truth had changed. So always be aware of that over time, what you found and tested your way to as the truth changes, right? It normally doesn't change quickly, but in this day and age, with some things, it changes fairly quickly, right? So be aware there, be aware of that. But the key is to aim every day to be less wrong. The closer you get to the truth, is the less wrong you are getting, Because you had a hypothesis, you tested it, or you had a theory, you tested it, right? You got feedback in the form of data. Some things worked, some things didn't work. What worked is the truth, as I said. So you now know this truth, so you are less wrong. then you are now less wrong than what you were before you tested, because you did not know this truth before you tested. So now that you know it, you are less wrong. You see? So the key is to always just be less wrong. Get a bit of truth and add it to the truth that you already have, right? And what you proved is not truth, or let's call it a lie, you throw that away, right? And through doing that over and over and over again, you are getting less wrong. Because remember, you started out with a theory of how this whole thing works, right? So assume that theory is wrong. Now the aim is to be less wrong with every single day that passes, with every single improvement, with every single truth gained from applying the scientific method. We sometimes call it the engineering design process as well, right? With every truth gained, you become less wrong. The Japanese call it kaizen, if I'm not mistaken. So it's the same thing. There's even another word for it, right? That's how important it is, right? Different cultures have, and different industries have named it differently, but it's the same process essentially. You test, you get to what works. From testing, you keep what works, you delete what doesn't work, you add something new, you test that new thing again. From that new thing, you keep what works, you delete what didn't work. You continuously do that till you get to the truth. Okay, guys, yeah, that's the end of the video. Hip Hop Culture, please like, comment, and subscribe. My aim to just, these are things I think about every single day, man. You know, and are learning to apply into my life every day, and I'm seeing a lot of improvement, and I'm seeing a lot of value from these things. So I'm just deciding to share some of these things. The aim is to make a video like this every single day, because I have a lot to talk about. Every single day I'm going to make a video like this and upload it to Hip Hop Culture, right? In 90 videos in 90 days. That's the goal. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please tell me what you think about some of this stuff. If ever you have a question and so on, I'll at least the channel is still very small, so I'll be able to answer, you know. Even when it gets big, I'll still answer, because I enjoy that type of thing. Anyway, Hip Hop Culture talks, guys. For you to understand what the Hip Hop Culture means, I've got a main channel called Hip Hop Culture. Please go watch that. And like and comment and subscribe there as well. Cheers.